All right, folks, coming to another story, or back around on another story, this defense spending issue. Joining us now, Texas Congressman Wesley Hunt, who was an Army combat vet deployed to Iraq, among other places. Wesley Hunt, thank you for coming on. You know, we were talking about this defense preparedness, which seems like it's at low point right now. Steve Forbes and I were talking about it earlier in the show. And I'll start you out on this. Mr. Trump's last budget in 2020, defense as a share of GDP, 3.7%. And he would have built that up to 5 or 6% if there had been a second term. Now, Mr. Biden's out to 2034, 2034, defense to GDP 2.4. So from 3.7 to 2.4. I don't know what the arithmetic is, about 35, 40% drop. And I want to tell you something else, too. If I'm reading this, and I'm going to ascribe it to my dear friend Larry Lindsey and hope that he doesn't get cross, but personnel are short. The number of active duty personnel is down 39% since 2008. Recruitment shortfalls are large and growing. And last year, the Army and Air Force were each down over 10,000. Those are remarkably bad, weak numbers at a time when the world is sort of blowing up. What do you make of it, sir?
Well, it's my responsibility to be good stewards of the American taxpaying dollar, but it's also my responsibility to make sure that Americans are safe and our allies are safe. This is the weakest we have seen our military in generations because we are focused on woke ideology instead of enlisting people that just want to fight for this country to protect and serve this nation. And we have got to get back to that. I think that's going to be a priority for President Trump coming up here. But we also have got to rebuild our military. If you're not paying attention to what's going on around the world with China and with Russia, and what's happening in the Middle East right now with Israel, a strong military is something that we absolutely have to have. But we have to have peace through strength. That's the most important piece of this. We are sending $200 billion to other countries. And the reason why that's happening is, aside from our defense budget, the reason why that's happening is because we are viewed as the weakest that we have seen in generations. We've got to have a strong leader back. We have to reinvest into our military. We have to find young people that want to serve this country and not serve woke ideology.
Congressman Hunt, you know, you look at this overall story. Let's just take peace through strength, a phrase that goes back to Ronald Reagan, my former boss, a long time ago, 4 decades ago. But it's stood the test of time, I think you would agree. The strength is home on the economy. The economy, if it's strong and you're removing barriers like taxes and regulatory barriers or fossil fuel barriers, all right, that throws off the resources that enable us to pick up our defense spending and improve our list. You know, instead of being down, the Navy is down 6,000 from its own goal. We couldn't fight a two-war doctrine anymore. Now it's peace through strength. Peace, yes, but we need a strong economy to have the kind of defense strength so people will, you know what, Machiavelli, it's better to be feared than loved. Always. That's what, you know, hundreds and hundreds of years and centuries have shown. We're not there right now. We are not there right now.
That's right. President Trump wants to unleash American energy. And keep in mind, when President Trump was president, Iran was broke. Hezbollah would never have made a move on Israel like we're seeing right now. The world was a safer place because we had a thriving economy. We had the highest growth of our GDP in our economy in modern history. And people realized that the United States was a force to be reckoned with, especially when it came to our strong economy and how we were able to protect our world through strength. And so President Trump, which I think he's going to do, by unleashing American energy, getting a lot of that tax revenue back, building up our military, paying down our debt. These are all basic principles about the economy that Democrats have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. And then furthermore, I want to talk about Kamala Harris. Could you imagine Kamala Harris negotiating with Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping? It would be a complete disaster. America has got to wake up and realize we have got to have a strong man back in this room because these people are taking advantage of us and they're going to continue to do so. Again, peace through strength is a tenet that started off with Reagan, and President Trump has carried the banner. We have got to have him back to carry the banner here again in 2024 and 2025.
Just one more quickly, Congressman, 30 seconds, please. Black unemployment, black male unemployment has gone from 4.6% to 6.6%. Now, I know you've worked on this. Byron Donalds has worked on this. Mr. Trump has been working on this. 30 seconds, your assessment. Kamala Harris cut into that, or can Mr. Trump maintain his margins among the minority groups, and black males included?
Larry, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have got to own this mess. They've got to own what they have done to the black community. It is their failed policies. It is the increase in the price of gas. It's the increase of inflation that has destroyed the middle class, and particularly black males. And also with this immigration crisis that we've seen, when President Trump said that they are taking black jobs, they absolutely are taking black working class jobs. This is a fact. They're taking American working class jobs. And Kamala Harris has been the vice president for 4 years. This is her mess. These are her policies. And if she gets reelected, expect 4 more years of this and more. That's why this election is so consequential.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Congressman Wesley Hunt, we appreciate it, sir, as always.